All right, Coach. Every coach in America is publicly stating today how much he loves his class. What is it about this group that you like so much?
This group is all in. And that's what I love about them. We were very intentional about the guys we went after. We targeted them, we signed them, and each and every one of these guys wanted to be in Boulder. You know, they saw the vision, they felt the culture. They know that we're building something special, and they want to be a part of it.
You talked during your press conference a lot about competing for championships. Is this the kind of class that gets you a step closer to doing that?
I believe so. I mean, you have to build your roster. Part of in the NFL, the draft is to improve your team. You know, recruiting is to improve your team, to help your team. And so every one of these guys that we recruited, that we've signed, these guys are going to be impact players. They're going to come in and compete for playing time right away.
Come the spring, all eyes are going to be on your competition at quarterback. You've signed one quarterback in this class, Brendan Lewis out of Texas. You've often said you want your quarterback to be your most competitive player on the roster. What did you see out of Brendan that you really liked?
Yeah, he's a awesome competitor. I mean, he really gets after it. I've got a chance to see him play live, and he's a great leader. He can make all the throws. I mean, he's a pocket passer, but he has mobility. And so whether they're called quarterback runs or it's improvising and quarterback scrambles, he can make plays with his feet. And so that's the type of guy that that we were looking for. We targeted him because out of the guys that we evaluated, we thought that he was the best, and so we're very fortunate to have him.
Another guy you're bringing in isn't necessarily a recruit per se, it's a transfer, Alfano from Alabama. I know you're losing LaVisca, and he's one of those once-in-a-generational type players, and Alfano's got to prove it once he gets here in the weight room, on the field, but does he have the kind of skill set where he can be have that same kind of impact?
Yes, Antonio has the skill set. I mean, he's got height, weight, speed. He's very great initial quickness, balanced body control. He's powerful. He's got a high motor, and he loves football. And so those are the traits you're looking for in a difference maker. Defensive lineman. And so you have to have those guys up front. I mean, the game is won and lost. At the end of the day, you got to be able to win the battle of the trenches, and so he's going to help us do that.
When we look at your recruiting profile this year, one of the things that stands out is only one Colorado kid. It's been 20 years since Colorado signed so few in-state kids. I know you're committed to the state. You have future oral commitments from kids in future classes, but what are the challenges CU faces in-state, and how do you overcome them?
Yeah, well, we have to recruit our state like it's out of state. We can't take anything for granted. Just because they're here in this proximity, close proximity, that doesn't mean they're going to come. And so we can't take anyone for granted and anything for granted. So we're very intentional, we're very aggressive, we put out the offers early, and we're targeting the top players, and we're going to recruit them. And eventually I feel like we're going to get our fair share, but it's a prove it deal. They want to see. They want to see what we're all about, and I feel that what I've heard is what I'm hearing, the feedback I'm getting is, hey, we see the culture changing. There is a difference, there. And so we're going to continue to build on that and recruit. And, again, we want to keep our top players here in Boulder.
I know you like to say, hey, we recruit every day. So I'm curious, what happens after all this today? Are you back on the phone tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. It never stops, the recruiting. Obviously, this is a time for celebration for us, and we're going to enjoy it, and we'll have moments for that. But, if you're not talking to them, somebody else is. So you can believe that.